100k and 50k race. Massive thanks to Rock and Roll for both sponsoring the race and the event here. We hope it's going to be quite informative and entertaining for you. So we've got James and Leanne, who are both finishers of the 100k. So we're going to put them through their paces and grill them. Feel free to check with any questions. And we've got Kit and Paul from True Food Sport Nutrition, who will be here about 10 to 7, maybe do a little run through on nutrition. And then Rick, wherever he is, and I'm going to do a bit of a run through on equipment and the like. Alright, so I'm just going to do a bit of an introduction. Obviously, who took part in the 100k last time? 2 people. And who signed up? Yes, it does. Yeah, you did the relay, yeah. And you did the hours, didn't you? Yeah. You got the medal? You got the medal. Who signed up for the 50k, 100k, or whatever this time? Awesome. And who's interested? Who's kind of there or thereabouts, maybe 50k or 100k or whatever? Awesome. Right, cool. So hopefully we'll be able to give you a bit of a, push you over the edge and get you signed up. Right, okay, so like I said, it's on the 26th of November, and we've got the 100k and the 50k options. There's only one 2-man relay team signed up, and they dropped out today. So there is no relay option as it stands at the moment. Right, so the race. So it's a 100km race. It's a 14-hour cut-off, which is the big sort of, the sticking point. We've got 39 entrants so far this year for the 100k, so in 2019, which was the last time the race ran, we had 35 entered, and only 8 made it within 14 hours, right? So that gives you an idea, okay? And we've got 3 of those people in the room here today, so basically we've got a third of the people who finished that race in this night, which is amazing. 12 made it to the finish, so 4 didn't actually get medals, but they still finished. So they didn't come in before the 14-hour cut-off, and they didn't get a medal, right? So I just need to reinforce all those sorts of things, right? Just so you know what you're getting into. And 23 DNF'd. The winning time was 11 hours 26, which was James, and we'll talk to James in a little while. And then, so the 50k, so it's the first year we're doing this. So basically the 100k is round the island and then back. The 50k is round the island and you finish, right? 7-hour cut-off. At the moment, we've only got 7 entrants, so if you are thinking about it, get involved. I think it's probably a much more manageable sort of challenge. I think 7 hours for 100k at night, 50k is definitely, probably people's heads that probably feel a bit more manageable. So I think like with the 100k, you have to turn around and then come back round, and obviously people are getting slower, it's tired, all these sorts of things that happen. And that's that really. And we've got a little fact in here, you probably can't see that. So it's 9,000 feet of elevation, approximately. Course marked, yeah. Number of aid stations 5. Likely temperature, it's cold. 4 UTMB points, 85% trail, 15% road, and the start location is at St. Catherine's, Breakwater. Okay, and that's the course there. So start at St. Catherine's, all the way around. And you don't go, give you a little bonus, like you don't have to go around this little head over here. So you go past the smugglers instead, so that's my little gift to you, alright? And then you get to St. Albans by the public toilets, and that's the turnaround point there. So if you're there on the 100k within 7 hours, then you get to carry on. If you don't make it to the turnaround point within 7 hours on the 100k, then you get timed out at that point, okay? So that's the... Right, so then we have, like I said, the 3 people in the room who completed the 100k. So we have Leanne, James, and Rick. So Leanne was the first place lady, James was the first place male, and Rick was the third place male. So I'd like to welcome James and Leanne, and we will ask you some questions. Right guys, welcome and thanks for coming today. So obviously James and Leanne, just tell us a little bit about the races you've done before, James.
So races done before, I started the big one, probably Marathon to start, probably my most memorable one. 100 milers I've got into recently, so Centurion races across the UK, and the Arc Nutrition, which is another 100 miler, which is down the south coast. the winter, which is really
Marathon des Sables is a race after my own heart. I did it myself in 2013. You went 14, didn't you?
Yes.
And you finished 27th overall?
Yeah.
So bear in mind, there's 1,000 people take part in Marathon des Sables, and like probably in the top 100, they're all sponsored with full-time athletes, and you were working at a bank at the time, weren't you? And you went over there.
I was sponsored.
You wasn't sponsored, no, that's what I mean, you were working full-time. And you went over there and just did it.
Yeah, and
In
that's
fact,
my first
in fact, there's a guy out there now, Patrick Kennedy, who is in Marathon des Sables. Some of you may know Patrick Kennedy, and he's actually 7th overall in the Marathon des Sables out of 1,000 people, which is just like, I mean, so the top 10, 15 is like Paul Morocco, people who basically live in the Sahara Desert, you know what I mean? So if you do get the chance, check out the track with him, because he's smashed, and he's first in his age group, which is 40 plus. So it's just phenomenal. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what it is.
I did my first round rock when it was the normal race, which I loved, and then I went on to do the Connemara Ultra just to see if I like it again. So I gave that one a try, and then kind of snowballed on from there. I thought about doing 100k, and then I tried one. I thought, okay, that's okay. Did a couple more, did a couple in Austria, and then I tried the 100 miler, because the 100 miler was like, wow, that's just another level. So I think now I've done about 700 milers. I finished Tour de Jean twice. I did Spartathlon. I did the arbitration. Went over with James. That was great fun.
And again, so Spartathlon again is basically it's 135 miles across Greece.
153.
So it's a road race, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically, you have to qualify to do that. You have to go onto the track and do a qualifying time. So it's basically, you can't just rock up and do that race. It's like the best of the best runners, like as far as.
Well, you didn't qualify for that one, like on the track.
So you need to have, so you can qualify with either 100k time or 100 miler time. So just choose a nice, easy course, nice flat course. Yeah, you then go into a lottery. So there are two ways to do it. You can do it with an athletic qualifying time. So for men, it's 7.5 hours for 100k. Yeah, and for ladies, it's 8 hours, I think. But then for the non-athletic qualifiers, it's 10 hours for women and 9 hours for men. Then you go into a lottery for that one. So the automatic qualifier you put in, every country gets 25 places, so they dig them out that way. So I went over and I did a race called Finch Way to qualify, because it's an easy 100k. Well, is there an easy 100k? It's 5 miles out and 5 miles back on a really nice, easy, comfortable trail. So I gave that a go, and I finished in 9 hours. I forget how many numbers, 9 hours something. And then the guys there said, well, try Spartathlon, put your name in the hat, and got in. And I loved it. It's just an amazing event, one of my favourites.
I remember watching you across Greece, to the tracker, and it was just amazing to watch. We could probably do another night on that, actually.
Yeah, it's
hell of an achievement.
Yeah, if you do this race, if you do the 100k, then just go for it, guys. That's what I say.
So obviously you both did the 100k. So just sum up the 100k in a few words, just so we can give these guys a bit of an idea of what they're getting themselves into. Those ones who are signed up already.
Yeah. Dark. Cold. No, it's very unique. I mean, we've all been on the north coast during the daytime, but nighttime is a different kettle of fish. You've only got your kind of little disc of light, and that is you, and that little disc of light all the way on the north coast, and it's totally surreal. And even running on the beaches as well, at night time, in the middle of the night, no one around you, sometimes you're thinking, what the hell am I doing? But it is just, I can't pitched this one enough really for its uniqueness, because marathons are marathons, half marathons, etc., but a night trail race is totally different, and it's definitely one to experience for sure.
Because it starts at 10, you're kind of into the dark straight away, so there's no mucking around, is there?
Yeah, there's no mucking about, no. Most people, myself included, are normally tucked up in bed. Yeah.
What about yourself, yeah? What do you...
Oh, it's great. It's a gnarly mud fest that will either kill you or cure you. No, it's great. No, it won't be. Plenty of first aiders around the place, isn't it? No, it's unique, and running in the dark is a completely different thing. Personally, I would love to run night races all the time. They're just amazing.
Good experience.
It's a great experience. Great course.
So based on that then, so what are the sort of fundamental differences, would you say, between running an ultra in the day and at night? What's the kind of...
Well, your sense of perception. So there are no hills when you run at night time. You can't see them, they don't exist. You'll find yourself in a place where you probably won't know where you are, but you'll hopefully see some landmark and go, oh my god, I'm here already. It's amazing. I find it a lot easier because all you see is what is straight in front of you. You don't see the weather, so if it's pelting down, as long as you've got a good jacket, they sell lovely jackets. Decent jacket, breathable, and you're nice and cozy. It's great.
Good head torch.
Good head torch.
Yeah.
Two, maybe one in your drop bag just in case, and lots of batteries.
I think like a lot of people who run at night, who like running at night, often say that, don't they, about the fact that it's just the circle of your head torch that that you're in, so you're very in the moment, and you don't really worry about the hills, do you?
Well, because like Leanne said, you literally can't see anything. It's you in that little circle of light, and it's just like I say, it's totally unique.
So take it step by step rather than worrying about it. So, with Jersey, you can see the whole north coast or something.
Yeah, that's really good. You get to stay over and say, oh my god, I'm here, and you turn around and go home. Yeah.
It's about kicking out time and help. Yeah. So what different equipment might you pack for a night race versus a day race? Apart from the obvious.
Torches and batteries.
I don't think you would. You wouldn't pack anything differently apart from batteries, head torch, and just the usual essentials. I'm just trying to think of my kit compared to normal races, and no, there's no difference apart from just the usual.
What head torches do you use? There's some here.
Those.
Pencil,
Petzl is the main one really, and I definitely recommend spending a decent amount of money on a head torch. Purely, obviously, the more money you spend, the brighter the torch is, but the brighter the torch is, the less concentration you need to focus. If you get what you pay for, right? So if you're going to go on the cheap side, you're going to get cheap, and it's not going to be very powerful, and you're going to be concentrating and struggling to see where you're going because the light's not that great. But when you buy a decent torch, it's like a car light, and you can see everything in front of you, and it just takes the energy of the concentration that is needed through a poor head torch. So great.
I think it's like battery life as well.
I would definitely recommend always carrying 2 head torches. Always, even if you like to change batteries, or sometimes with one Dijon when my Silva just started to eat batteries, just went through them and out, put them in, and then 10 minutes later the thing got hotter and hotter and just completely burned out. I had 3 head torches on me, so I was lucky. For that kind of event you would need. But
because you've also got to remember, if you carry spare batteries and your head torch goes, how the hell are you going to put those batteries in when you've got no light? So it's always good to have. Normally in most races that I've done in the UK, it's like carry a head torch, but also carry a secondary little torch. And that is for instances like that where your batteries run out and you need to change.
Another little tip: if you are using a head torch that takes batteries, put a piece of what do you call it, like ribbon or something underneath the battery, so when you uncover it, they're easy to pull out, because sometimes you're forever in the dark trying to, see where the batteries are, and you're trying to pull them out. You've bitten your nails because you've been so nervous about doing the race, you can't get the batteries out. So it's just a little tip to you to pull that. Sorry, that's it.
Good tips.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my questions actually, your top 3 tips. Okay, so seamless. Jane, what's your top 3 tips for them? Okay, well, any night.
Yeah, any. Well, if we're talking about night races, then 2 head torches, definitely. I would have your go-to head torch, use that for when you start off, and then have your secondary head torch in case, obviously, the first one runs out. Most of them will give you a battery life. Definitely, even if you're going to use it a few times, if you're going to start a race, put fresh batteries in, because then you definitely know how many hours you've got at whatever brightness you've got. And then you have a second head torch, even if it's just a one to change the batteries if need be. Most of these ones, and these guys will probably tell you what's the usual span of life of those. Depends on the brightness, isn't
It goes
it?
from like 12 on the most powerful through to like 2 or 3 hours.
One we've got multiple settings, haven't they? So
Yeah,
you
you've
sort
got
of-
reactive lighting to
Yeah.
change the brightness, and you can go into the burn modes. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so exactly, yeah. And I think what I did as well on that race was I changed the brightness whenever. So for instance, we'll probably go on to one of your questions, but one of my memorable moments on this one was going on 5 Mile St One's Beach. I came down L'attack, and I was in 2 minds whether to go to the beach or go to the road, and I thought I'd just go to the beach. I knew the tide was out, but I didn't know how long the sand was. But as soon as I got around to Goldsmiths, and the tide had gone right out, so it was all shimmery on the sand, but the moon was out, and it just lit up. And so I thought, brilliant. Turned it completely off, and I could see it was like in twilight, and it was absolutely brilliant. But on the same time, great for saving battery life as well.
Yeah.
So if you ever for instance, when you get some opens, you start getting the street light, turn it off. Straight away, save battery whenever you can. If there's an easy part of the trail, turn on to the low mode, and if you're on a technical part, put it on full beam. So just play around with it, but remember, if you've got it on full beam, the battery's going to get the drain.
What's your top 3 tips?
Well, practice in the night time for sure. Get out there as much as you can. Go out when you're tired. Get in from work, do whatever for a couple of hours. Maybe go out at 10 o'clock for a few hours just to see how you feel. If you don't sleep the night before or a few nights before the race, don't worry about it. Your body will always get you through. So don't worry about not sleeping, because I think that's what people do worry about with night races. Oh my God, I haven't slept. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen? I'm going to fall asleep on the trail. You will not fall asleep on the trail. You'll be grand. Okay? So get that one out of your head. There was one race I did in Austria where I got there on a Tuesday. I just could not sleep. The race was on the Saturday. I couldn't sleep. And then I was like going mad in the morning. I'm never going to be able to do this race. But you do. It's amazing. Your body is amazing. So honestly, it can go for days without sleep. So that's one tip. The torch for sure. Practice your torch, and
Nutrition is a good one.
absolutely, practice that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be coming shortly, but my personal opinion on nutrition is obviously everyone is totally different, everyone's digestive system tastes totally different. Find what works for you and stick with it. Don't rely on the aid stations. Yeah, they're normally great and well stocked, but you're gambling. You might try something that you haven't tried before whilst running, or whilst being out there, and it could play hard and give you bad results really. So stick. So I would, if you have been training and eating as well, carry as much as you can with you, and just use the aid stations just to top up. Don't actually use them as your fueling station, because, like I say, you don't know what's going to be there. It could be a bit of a gamble.
Good advice.
And again, practice wearing all that you're going to wear. your backpack, fill it up with water, get used to the load as much as you can.
On the back of one of those tips there, we are going to be doing recce nights. I can't remember the date, I think it was next Friday, isn't it? Yeah. I think 15th, then like 2 weeks after, and 2 weeks after that, so we're only recceing each of the sort of parts of the North Coast at night. So you're more than welcome to come along, even if you're not taking part or if you're on the fence or whatever. So yeah, we'll tell you more about that afterwards.
But definitely get used to night running. If you haven't done any night running or a night race, try. I mean, it's getting easy now because the nights are getting shorter. But try and get your runs out in the dark. Not necessarily, try and get used to running with a head torch and run down some lanes. Get used to just running, even just running on the road for starters. Just getting used to that, having that, that peripheral vision of just that kind of circle, and then kind of transition into the trails. But definitely get some night runs in.
It's definitely about confidence, I think.
Yeah,
particularly with the 14-hour time limit. You obviously want to be as confident as you're able to be, so that you can move as quickly as possible, so that you get to your goal.
Yeah, and try and run as much as the course in little bits as possible, so you know what's coming up, you know what to expect. There's no hidden surprises, no hidden hills around. Jersey's not that big, so you can explore the weekends. Just get on the course as much as possible.
So what's your favourite part of the North Coast when running at night?
I love woods there. I love running down the woods.
Down.
Down, not back up, though. It's got big time as well.
Favourites?
The Maria Valley bit.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Just that bit once you're,
Yeah.
if you're going from St Catherine to, you go onto the road bit St John's and then you get back onto the trail. That little bit that goes down to the Maria Valley up to Devil's Hole, that section, I absolutely love it.
And Rev, because that's quite runnable up there.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean, least favourite bit? Same bits? I suppose everything's coming back. It's still great.
Probably Booley. Those two bits.
Or just starting, just getting up thinking, because you're like, oh, I'm ready to go. And then you just take your time settling in and just take a little bit just to, okay. These two are coming back, Rosa will say, okay,
Yeah, that's that section definitely.
Go back at where?
Okay.
Well, we haven't got 100k any other way.
No, it's great. It's all good. It's all good. There are no balance.
So the 14-hour cut-up, obviously, that's a bit of an elephant in the room. I know it's probably on some people's minds as to whether they can make that or not. So how would you approach the strategy, or how would you advise somebody? How would you do it, and how would you advise somebody to do it? What would you do? Like just go straight out and just go as quickly as possible, then hang on and deal on?
I guess if time is an issue, time stood still is gonna hurt big time. So where you're gonna be standing still is gonna be the aid station. So don't hang about there. Yes, meet and greet. The people there, volunteers, they do a fantastic job, and they want you to stay there for a little bit. But get your drinks topped up, get your food, and get walking straight away. Try and just avoid hanging around, because especially the aid stations that get a bit further along, the want to hang about, because you've been in the dark for so long, 10 miles, I think it's roughly 10 miles?
Yeah, 10 miles.
So it's a long time, so a couple of hours or whatever, in the dark, on your own, just you and that little disc of light, and then you come to civilization, you come to some people, and they're all
welcoming.
Very welcoming, they're waiting on your hand, but it's just, you want to try and avoid just wasting time for minutes, so grab what you can, like I say, get topped up, and then just start walking. Even if you've got a handful of food, just start walking away, walking and eating.
It'll save you minutes.
If you think exactly right, you've got how many checkpoints there and back. If you're hanging about there for 5 minutes at a time,
5 checkpoints.
It all adds up.
5, half an hour.
Yeah.
And this time round, so last time we had a checkpoint at Gromley, and actually actually we've got 2 people who live on the course just before Gromay. So one of the checkpoints is going to be at somebody's house. So it's going to be even harder. So they've got a table set up. I mean, you know, on the left where all the feral chickens are, there's a house there on the right. So basically, it's on the course.
Yeah.
So they've got toilets, they're going to have, you know, all these sorts of things. So you can imagine, onto the big land, it's going to be even worse. Like, I think there'll be a lot of DNFs there.
Sit up in bed, Ellen.
In Netflix. So yeah, it's, you know.
Yeah, I think it's just making a point of just constantly moving, rather than, we'll say dithering's a bit of a strong word, but you know, say for instance the first half of the North Coast is arguably the worst half. You know, there's lots of ups and downs, so maybe you know, dipping into base and back up. The climbing's going to be hard, it's going to be slow, you feel like you're trudging through kind of treacle, but when you get to the top you want to kind of reset, take a couple of big breaths and just get running, even if it's just trotting, you know. Trotting compared to walking, you know, you don't feel like you're going far, but you actually are, you're going a lot further than you would be walking, so I always say, get to the top, take a couple of deep breaths and then reset, and then go again. And just you want to keep that momentum going. Run all the runnable bits, and you know, power hike the hills. And if you have got it in your quads and your knees, then try and run the downs if you can. But just make use of those flat sections where they are, especially that first half. On the way back as well, it's very coming from St John's and you go back onto the cliff path. It's very up and down, like really technical, and there's not many kind of flat bits, runnable bits. So when you do come across them, you want to just try and make as much ground as you can.
Yeah.
So you don't accept it.
I didn't want to say it was hard this time, either, because you're wounded, unfortunately. But last time, how did you approach it? Like, what was your kind of game plan?
Just one more video. Get to the office before the 7 hours over. It's all right. Like, yeah, no, just nice and steady, and same as what James just said, but fuel when you are marching up hills. Use that time, get a little bit of food in. When you're approaching the end of a hill, just get the legs moving again, just as you're coming up to the top, so you're ready to go off nice and easy. But when you are marching up the hills, like march, power up them, okay, because time, to be fair, it is, it's a challenge, but it's doable. It's doable. You've got to just be canny about it. Think, right, you're coming up to a really good runnable section. I've hydrated, I've had something to eat, and I am ready to go. Don't
I think that's the thing with the 14 hours. Like, I know a lot of people again sort of saying 14 hours is quite tight, but so the reason I sort of set it at 14 hours, the double top, which is kind of the double North Coast, is a 12-hour sort of time limit. I think the average sort of finish time for that was about 9.5 hours. Now that was in the day, but if you think about it, I think anybody who kind of runs regularly can do 14 hours. But I think you just have to be really on it with checkpoints and just make sure that everything goes right. So anything that you can control is within your sort of control to succeed. You just need to make sure if you know the course, move quickly through the checkpoints, all those sorts of things. Like anything that you can control, you just make sure that it's and I don't think it's beyond anybody who sort of lines up at the start.